So the cars are on the grid, ready for the lights to go out. 12 laps coming up of Grand Prix cars, 1966 to 72, and they're away and straight into the lead, of course. Oh, Adrian Newey hasn't started. Now he gets away.
Yep.
And alongside him, I think it was the March of Tom Hartley Jr. didn't get away either. Yeah, number one there.
Maybe it was a lack of experience. He just stalled it.
Yep.
Now it's fired up and he's away. The March 7th, first March Formula One car that was launched. In fact, I orchestrated that launch at Silverstone.
So it's Lyons ahead of Wrigley in second place, Kubota in third, and then David Shaw in fourth, and the Spencer Navy of Miners in fifth place. So they are charging through the tunnel, and this is our first chance to hear DFVs around the circuit.
And a couple of Matra V12s, of course, which will scream highly. But Wrigley doing a good job there, hanging on to Michael Lyons.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy for young Matthew Wrigley, but Michael Lyons, so much experience in all sorts of cars, and you will see him several times this afternoon as well. This is his first appearance. We'll see him many more times as well.
Driving for the family team. This car belongs to the family, but later for the big German Chrome Cars operation. This car in the Rob Walker Brook Bond colours, but actually in period it raced mainly in South Africa with a Rhodesian driver, Zimbabwean driver John Love, in the Team Gunston colours. So it was a Team Gunston car rather than a Rob Walker car, as I understand it. There's the two matches are both a different iteration. You see the different nose treatments. There's Adrian Newey is thinking about getting a little bit racy, and let's see how he powers up the hill. There's the first match, there's the second one. There's Newey trying to bob out and get past, and the Mr. John B, and also Mathilde, the flower shop owner. Let's see what Adrian can do. While Matra covering him off.
Yeah, the Matra going down the hill. Everyone tries to avoid that bump. They haven't earlier on, but now they do with these lower cars. And Adrian Newey goes for the inside line at the hairpin.
Oh, great move, great move. Past Nicolas Mathilde.
Not everybody can get past there, but he's got past Nicolas Mathilde, who's a local guy, so he knows the roads. But Adrian instantly pulls away, and below us, Michael Lyons leads Matthew Wrigley first and second. Matthew Wrigley in the March 721G.
But Lyons turning the timing screen purple. Fastest section 1, fastest section 2, and really getting in stride in this Surtees. And we said this yesterday, raced previously by his mother, and not many people can say, oh, I'm racing my mother's old Formula One car. In fact, I don't think anybody else could say it. 34.359 the lap of Michael Lyons, but Wrigley, he's doing a very good job there, hanging on.
Now, Mathilde pretty much left the door open, didn't he, for Adrian Newey round the hairpin, and said, if you're brave enough, I'll give you the space. And you don't say that to Adrian Newey too often, because he'll take it. Thank you very much. There he goes. So up into what is now 7th place for Adrian Newey. Remember, he got left behind on the grid at the start. Here it is. Here's the start again. There in the background is Adrian Newey not getting away. Katsuaki Kubota beaten into Sandivot at the start by Matthew Wrigley, and that's still the situation between those two.
Gothers did get racing out of the pit lane, and he's running in 10th position now.
Yep. So 11 starters, or 11 runners in this. Here's Michael Lyons, and he's beginning to pull away a little bit from Matthew Wrigley in second place. Lyons in the Surtees, of course, Wrigley in the March. And here comes the Surtees round to complete lap 3. The advantage was 2.5 seconds between Lyons and Wrigley, and it is now 2.2 seconds. So Lyons isn't having it all his own way. Wrigley has the chance to get closer. Kubota in third place, another 3.8. That has come down as well. So as these drivers are settling into the circuit, so they're getting more competitive.
Yeah, I didn't think that Michael Lyons would run away with this, but that's certainly not the case. Wrigley keeping him honest, and the ex-Mike Beutler car, we rather, or perhaps he shouldn't have said this, but used to call him Blocker Beutler. He made a very wide car, particularly in the Formula 3 days, did Mike. Died many years ago now in San Francisco. He's an absolutely charming man, and very fiery driver too. But you couldn't do that. He couldn't do it anymore. Managed to get into Formula 1 because he was good in Formula 3 and Formula 2 with a group of stockbrokers backing him, able to buy and commission this special march. And so he was a privateer. Now, because we don't have any privateers, there used to be lots of them back in the period of the early 70s.
Well, we'll see some more privateer cars over the next few races as well, won't we?
Indeed we will.
Kubota there in the Lotus 72, run by Classic Team Lotus again. He had a bit of a nudge with the Armco yesterday and lost the nose section, but they obviously had a spare one, so he's able to race that. But yeah, lost the nose section and mangled it a little bit. But very, very accustomed to this Lotus 72 is Katsuaki Kubota.
Absolutely loves the car, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And races it all over Europe.
And in the States as well.
Yeah.
Software magnate, if you like, from Japan, Katsuaki Kubota.
These DFV cars, there is a season-long race series for them. The Masters Group run Formula 1. We're seeing these cars split into about 4 categories. They have them all in the same race, but there aren't nearly so many. They're such a magnet for people, owners of these cars, to race them at Monaco, that they sometimes only come out of the box every 2 years. But it's so interesting to see things like this Eiffelland. I mean, it never ran anywhere like fourth in a period. Although Rolf Strommelen, who was the guy who drove it, German driver, was a very fast peddler.
Yes, he was. He was very good. So David Shaw at the moment in fourth place. Ooh, 2 marches going up the hill there.
Yeah.
That's Tom Hartley Jr. and Harald Becker, the German driver.
Yeah, that's in the one's in the Tyrrell colours, because March provided cars for Tyrrell in 1970, and they had a factory team with people like Amon and Andretti drove it, so we've got the STP on the car. A nice little battle between these trio.
This is right at the back. Mathilde keeping out of the way of Tom Hartley Jr., who goes through, and in fact he lets all 3 of them go through. So Hartley Jr., Becker and Goethe, that's Goethe in the McLaren, number 15 there, they all get past the Matra. Mathilde being very well managed.
Yeah, March company. The H was Robin Hurd. He was the designer of this March 701. I mean, they went absolutely crazy that first year. They had a Formula 1 team, had a Formula 2 team, had a Formula 3 team, which I ran, and they had a Can-Am car as well. And they did a great job, and then had lots of success subsequently in Indianapolis, in the States.
So Lyons with a 4-second lead now over Matthew Wrigley, who in turn is 2.8 ahead. And
oh no!
Into the pits is the Matra of Mathilde.
No, that's the Eiffelland.
Oh, it's the Eiffeland.
Oh, you see that mirror, yeah.
Yeah, Mark.
Oh, what a show! I thought Mark Shaw was going so well in that.
Yeah.
What a disappointment for him.
And there is Roald Goethe in the McLaren, getting ahead of Harald Becker.
Yeah.
Going up into 8th place.
Yeah, Harald Becker, the German driver. The year after this, March, of course, had the funny T-tray thing on the front of the car. Do you remember that? And sometimes you see those racing, and
the STP March, particularly.
Well, yeah,
car.
that's what they did. But for me, that McLaren M19 is a beautiful car. As we said, if Stewart had been in it, I would have been right up there, dicing wheel to wheel with Mike Lyons. But Stewart's got, we'll see him a bit later.
Stewart.
Hall.
Stewart.
No, just Stuart Hall, I mean.
You've got to be precise.
I have to be, and there's different spelling of Stewart as well. And Kubota has just done the quickest lap of the race.
So watch out for him. He's back in third place, but he's only a couple of seconds behind Matthew Wrigley in the yellow car on your screens at the moment. There is the battle over second place, or potential battle, between Wrigley and Kubota.
Yeah, this race got a bit more intrigue in it than I expected. Mr. Jollibee in 5th place in his Matras, the later of the two Matras. Matra was a French aerospace company that went into motor racing to promote its brand.
Now they're looking at the front of that car of the Eiffel Land as though it could be something to do with the brakes.
Looking like brakes, isn't it?
Yeah, looking at the front. So there is Michael Lyons. Ooh, got a little bit out of shape, didn't he there?
It doesn't spare much, does he, Michael? I mean he's still got, you know, Wrigley just 5 seconds behind him. Just a little trip up an escape road or something, and Wrigley will be right there.
Yeah. Yes, Matthew Wrigley doing a good job. The young British driver, Matthew Wrigley, along with father Mike Wrigley, of course.
Yeah.
Last he was, well, he's done a certain amount of racing elsewhere in Penske, Lotus Elan, etc. Didn't like modern racing, so he's stuck to historic racing. Michael Lyons now threading his way through the back markers.
Yeah, well, it doesn't get much better than this racing at Monaco, does it? In a classic Formula One car.
Probably better than, say, I don't know, Croft on an Easter Monday or something.
Sletterton on a rainy day, perhaps, yes.
So Michael Lyons now with a 5.7 second lead over Katsuaki Kubota.
And I see that Adrian Newey is now in 6th place and improving on his lap times. Oh, yes,
that's what happened to Wrigley. That's how he lost that second place.
Yeah.
Straight on at Sandivot. And Katsu Kubota said, thank you very much.
Was he able to turn it around in that space? Sometimes you can. So Wrigley trying a nice little battle amongst this group here with Gotha, Becker, Mathieu.
Well, that's Kubota at the back. Trying to thread his way through.
He is.
And yeah, lots of blue flags, but they're not necessarily taking any notice of them. Here comes Katsu Kubota getting past Roald Gotha in the McLaren, and now looking at Harold Becker ahead of him. And does Harold Becker go straight on there? There's Michael Lyons. 8 laps completed of the 12. He's on his 9th lap at the moment. And he has a lead of 8.4 seconds now over Kubota in 2nd place.
Yeah, Wrigley able to regain the track in 3rd place ahead of Minus, but the snowplow going particularly well, I think, don't you?
Well, I think that for a car that never raced, its 4th place is probably beyond expectations.
Yeah, I think quite a few of the Ferrari drivers, Jackie Hicks, who we've seen here this weekend, tested it. And I don't know whether they just had too much downforce on the front, but anyway, the plan was abandoned.
Yeah.
But the great thing is the car lives on to remind us of maybe cul-de-sacs that designers went down on occasion.
Yes, Mauro Forghieri, the Ferrari engineer, who not only was a chassis specialist, but also an engine specialist, which was still, well, it's unheard of now, but it was pretty rare then as well.
Yeah, it was.
To be specialists at both, combining the talents. And Mauro Forghieri was the man who was in charge of that.
Cosworth once built a four-wheel drive car that never raced, but I saw being demonstrated at Mallory Park. And so they'd done the engine and the chassis. That was designed by Robin Hurd before he went to Martin. Oh, dear.
That's Michael
Lyons has made a mistake. That is so uncharacteristic. What has happened there?
That was very strange. Accelerating out of Rascasse and got sideways. He's kept the engine running. And he's virtually blocking the road, not quite. And in fact, Wrigley's gone past up into 2nd place, what is now 2nd place.
And I think he's going to, well, Michael, that love to see that.
Don't know what happened there, but he's got to explain to Mummy afterwards.
Yeah.
Here it is. Turns in. Something was wrong already because Kubota was so much closer.
Yeah, he raised his arm before it spun, didn't he? I think it was a gearbox problem, maybe.
Yeah, something was already wrong.
Yeah.
And look at that.
It's strange how it turned so sharply right.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be interesting if he carries on. I suspect, no, he isn't. That's it for Michael Lyons. Or is he just going to his pit? Yes, he is. So, as we said, nothing certain in motor racing, Bob, and that's absolutely the case.
Yeah.
We had him as a certain bet for victory here.
All that money you put on him.
And then, and then Wrigley, of course, going down the escape road. And suddenly, we might have the Japanese national anthem at the end of all this. Yeah, and he will know he's in the lead. I'll be a little bit surprised. But could have 2 consecutive races won by Classic Team Lotus.
Well, he's certainly about to complete 10 laps, is Katsu Kubota, with Matthew Wrigley in second place, 18 seconds further back, and Franco Miners is on the podium at the moment in the Spezza Neve. Matra in 4th place, Adrian Newey in 5th, and then Tom Hartley Jr. in 6th place, then Harold Becker in 7th. These are really the survivors, if you like. Michael Lyons in the pits, David Shaw in the pits as well, Nicola Matil on circuit, but Katsu Kubota leading around. I'm just trying to think what could have gone wrong for Michael Lyons, because he'd lost a huge amount of time. Katsu Kubota had caught right up even before that spin.
Yes, he had, and I'm thinking maybe transmission. And Adrian Newey in 5th place overall now, and each lap going faster than the previous, which is impressive. So he's really getting to grips with the Lotus 49, I think the oldest car in this race. There's Mr. Jollibee. So Adrian not close to him, but he'll be enjoying himself. Only going to win his class, although he was the only one in it.
Here's Franco Miners in the Spezza Neve with Mr. Jollibee close behind, 1.2 seconds between the two of them last time. And Mr. Jollibee closing. Could have a Matra on the podium. This is their penultimate lap. Mr. Jollibee getting closer all the time, and he'd love to be on the podium here, wouldn't he? But so would Franco Miners, who's a Monegasque.
Yeah.
And
quite a battle. He's going through. Dive down the inside, Mr. Jollibee. Nice move into the chicane.
Yeah. And perhaps Franco Miners didn't quite have the confidence there. And Mr. Jollibee gets through. Franco Miners not letting him get away, though. Franco Miners staying with him around these familiar streets. And here it is again.
Came from well back, didn't he?
Yeah.
Just terrific, just perfect move there.
But as you say, a longer braking distance here.
And is that Miners?
Yes, it is.
Miners has spun, and Adrian Newey's got up to 4th place.
So Miners has had a spin as well. What drama. And so Mr. Jollibee in 3rd place, Newey in 4th, and Miners in 5th place. So Kubota on his last lap, he's got a big lead of 17 seconds. And here he is coming round the swimming pool area. Just a couple of corners to go now. Well, it isn't a given. We've seen other people stop around Raskas as they put the power on. But he makes it okay. Katsu Kubota, here he comes up to take the checkered flag at the end of this 12-lap race for 3-litre cars from 66 to 72, and victory for Katsu Kubota. He will love that. And here is Matthew Wrigley, a good 2nd place for him in the March 721G. and an excellent, but he knows he could have won that if he hadn't gone up the escape road. That will be niggling to him. And Mr. John O'Bee, here he is in the Matra. Got a few corners still to go before he takes the checkered flag. In third place, Raskas just to go. Beautiful engine noise as he comes up into Noguez, the final corner, and accelerates towards the checkered flag. And he too is on the podium. We'll see them in a few moments' time. But a great result. Adrian Newey there in fourth place. Well, he kept his nose clean, didn't he?
Then reminding us of the great days of Graham Hill racing that car and winning here at Monaco.